Welcome to our Hebrew class for this week. My name is Tom Howling, and today we will go through Yehuchanan, which in modern Hebrew, a shorter form is Yochanan, and in English it's John, chapter 9, verses 11 to 15. So let us begin. And as you can see, I have a chart of the valve marks called the Nikud, and some great resources that we would encourage you to use. So we begin. And we begin with remembering that every letter in Hebrew has a numerical value. Yod, being the 10th letter of the alphabet, has a value of 10. Aleph being the first, it has a value of 1. So we're in 11, and we go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun, Sofit, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Yod, Shin, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Nun, Kuf, Resh, Aleph, Shin Mem Vav, Yod He Vav, Shin Ayin, Ayin Sin, because the dot's on that side, He Tet Yod Tet. Remembering this is a I sound, this is a long A sound, this is a short A sound, this is an U sound, so is that. That's a long A sound again. So as we go through, we'll see all those. And this is an O sound. So as we read it, Vaya'an, and he answered, remembering that if there's no pronoun, it's often he. Vayomer, and he said, Ish, a man, a sheer, who, that could be that or which. Nikra is called, Shemo, his name, Yahushua or Yahusha, Asa, he made, Tit, meaning clay. And of course, we have down here Ana, which is a cult verb to answer, to reply. But I've also given you the same letters, but a different vowel mark here. And it is Ina, and it's a piel verb, and it means to torture. So we can see a very difference in the meaning when we have a different vowel mark. So the translation is, he answered and said, a man who was called by his name, Yeshua, made clay. And so we now can read that. Vaya'an, Vayomer, Ish, Asher, Nikra, Shemo, Yahushua, Asa, Tit. And the direct translation, and he answered and he said, a man who is called his name Yahusha, he made clay. And so we turn to part B. We have a Vav, Yod, Mem, Resh, Chet. Ayin Lamed, Ayin Yod, Nun, Yod, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Lamed, Kaf Sofit, Kaf at the end of a word. Vav, Resh, Chet, Zade Sofit, Zade at the end of a word. Beit, Veit, Resh, Kaf, Tav, He, Shin, Lamed, Chet. And we read it. Va Yim Rach, which means, and he smeared, and I've added it. If we look down here, it comes from marach, which is a cult verb to spread, like butter, like we spread butter, or to smear. Al meaning on or upon, einai, my eyes. Vayomer, and he said, Elai, to me or unto me. Lek, go. Of course, the root of that is halak, but the hay's dropped off. Lek is a shorter form. It means go. Ur chatz, and wash. Biv reka, bivreka, in the pool of. Why is it of? Because the tav often tells us it's construct. And if we look down here, we've got beraka, which is a feminine noun meaning pool of water. But I also gave you beraka. Looks very similar, but one little minor difference. It's a feminine noun and it means blessing or greeting. And that's why I gave it to you. Ha, she, lo, ach. Remembering that the patak at the end, instead of coming after the final letter, it comes before it. So it's ha, she, lo, ach. And it literally means the sent one. So the pool of the sent one. So Yeshua made clay and smeared it on my eyes and said to me, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. That's its translated name, but it actually comes from shalach, which means to send. And so now we can read that. Vayimrach al einai vayomer Elai lek urchat bivrekat ha shiloach. And he smeared it on my eyes, and he said to me, go and wash in the pool of the sent one. And so we now come to 11c. We have a Vav, an Aleph, a Lamed, and a Kaf Sofit. Vav, Aleph, Resh, Chet, Zade Sofit, Vav, Tav, Pei, because of the dot, Kuf, Chet, Nun, He. Ayin, Yod, Nun, Yod. And we read it. Va-e-lek. Now, the Aleph meaning I, but with the Vav in front of it like that, it actually reverses the tense. It's not future, it is completed or past. And I went. Again, lek is a short form of halak. As we can see down here, that's the root. It means to go, to walk, to leave. And then we have va, er, chatz. And I washed. Again, the same reasoning. The vav reverses the tense. Because normally without the vav, I shall wash. But now it is, and I washed. Vati pa kach na. And they were opened. A nay. My eyes. Again, the kamatz with the yod meaning my eyes. And I've given you down here also pa kach, which is a kol verb. It means to open, and specifically one's eyes or ears, as the dictionary tells us. So, to wash in the pool of Siloam, and I went and washed and my eyes were opened. So now we can read that. Va-elek, va-er-chatz, va-ti-pa-kach na, einai. And I went and I washed, and they were open, my eyes. And so we come to 12, represented with a Yod 10, Vayet 2, the second letter of the alphabet. Vav Yod, Aleph Mem Resh Vav, Aleph Lamed Yod Vav, Vav Aleph Yod Vav, Vav Yod, Aleph Mem Resh Lamed Aleph Yod Dalet Ayin Tav Yod. And then we read it. Va Yom Ru. And they said. Why is it they? Because this form can be third person. And they said, Elev, unto him, the ayo, and where is he? So what's the root of that? It is aye, an adverb which means where. And of course the pronoun is on the end, which could be him or he. So therefore it is, and where is he? Va yomer, and he said, again, no pronoun, so we say he. Lo, not, yadati, I do know. Again, the I is the pronoun, the T at the end, and yada means to know. So we translate as they said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know. So now we can read that. Va yomru eliv ve ayo va yomer lo yadati. And they said unto him, and where is he? And he said, not I do know. And so we come to 13. It's represented a yod, value of 10. Gimel, the third letter of the alphabet, has a value of 3. And then we go through the letters. Vav, yod, veit, because there's no dot. Yod, aleph, vav. Aleph, tav, hey, aleph, yod, shin, aleph, shin, resh, hey, yod, hey, ayin, vav, resh, lamed, fei, no dot, nun, yod, memsafit, aleph, lamed, hey, pei, resh, vav, shin, yod, memsafit. So we try to do it a bit quicker so that we get so familiar with the letters. And so we read, va, ya, vi, u, and they brought. Well, is it brought? Because there's a yod in there. Yod means to bring. So if we look down here, we've got he, vi. It's a verb to bring, to transport, to transfer. So that helps us. And of course, with the prefix here, the yod is future. The vav, as I said before, reverses the tense. So it means it's a completed action. And they brought. Et is grammar. Ha-ish, the man. A-sher, who. Ha-ya, he was or was. I-ver, blind. Le-fanim, before, or you could even say to the face. But if we go down there, it's le-fanim. It's an adjective. It means at the front, formally, or in the past. Remembering that panim is a noun meaning face, surface, aspect. Example of that is head of a coin. And then we have El-tu ha-perushim, the Pharisees. They brought the man who had previously been blind to the Pharisees. And so now we're going to read that. Vaya vi u et ha-ish asher ha-ya iver le-fanim el ha-perushim. And they brought, grammar marker, the man who was blind before to the Pharisees. And so we now come to 14a. It's represented with a yod and a dalet. Yod is 10, dalet is the fourth letter of the alphabet. Then we have vav, hey, yod, vav, memsafid, aleph, shin, resh, ayin, sin, hey, veit, vav, yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin, aleph, tav, hey, tet, yod, tet. And we read it. The ha-yom, and the day, ashir, that, asa, he made, remembering no pronoun, it means he made, and asa can mean to do or to make. Vo, in it, with the vav at the end meaning it. It can mean sometimes he, but in this case it means it, because we're talking about the day. Yahushua, or Yahusha, et hatit, the clay. So therefore, the day on which Yeshua had made the clay. And I've just given you here a bit of information. The bet, meaning be, is a prefix, and it can mean in, most common, and it can also mean at, with, by, for, because it can be used in translation in those forms. But generally it's in. So now we can read that. V'hayom asher asa vo Yahushua et hatit. And the day that he made in it, Yahusha, the clay. And now we come to 14b. We have a Vav Yod Fei Kuf Chet. Aleph Tav Ayin Yod Nun Yod Vav Hey Yod Hey Yod Vav Memsafit Hey Shin Beit Tav. And we read it. Va Yif Kach. And he opened. Remembering no pronoun, he. And he opened, it's a complete form because of the prefix, the Vav with the Yod. So it's a completed form. And he opened at a naive, his eyes, Haya, it was, because we can assume it, we're talking about the day, so it's it. Yom meaning the day, and I've added of, Ha Shabbat, the Shabbat, the Sabbath. Therefore, I've also given you down here ayin, which is a feminine noun. It can mean eye, look, appearance, but interestingly, it can also mean spring or well. And so the translation, he made the clay and opened his eyes, was the day of the Shabbat. And so we can read that. Va'yif kach et a naiv haya yom ha Shabbat. And he opened, grammar marker, his eyes, it was the day of the Shabbat. And so we come now to 15, and it's represented, it's one of these strange ones, represented with a tet, value of 9, and a vav, value of 6. So together that means 15. So it's different than the way we would think of counting. So we go through letters again. Vav, Yod, Vav, Samek, Yod, Fe, Vav. Lamed, Shin, Aleph, Lamed, Aleph, Tav, Vav, Gimel, Memsafit, Hey, Pei, Resh, Vav, Shin, Yod, Memsafit, Aleph, Yod, Kaf, Sofit, Nun, Fe, Kuf, Chet, Vav, Ayin, Yod, Nun, Yod, Vav. And we read it. Va, Yo, Si, Fu. And they added. Because remember, Yosef, as we know from the Old Testament, it means to add. And they added. And you could also translate it, and they continued. Lishol, to ask. Oto, him. Gam, also. Ha, Perushim, the Pharisees. Ache, how. Nif, kechu, were they opened. A naive, his eyes. The Pharisees also asked him once more how his eyes were opened. And then I've given you sha'al, which is a cold verb to ask, to question, to query, and also gam. As a conjunction, it can mean also, even, furthermore. So I've used also. So now we can read that. Va yo si fu, lish'ol, oto, gam ha perushim, eik, nif kechu, naive. And they added to ask him, also the Pharisees, how were they opened, his eyes. And so we come to 15b. And we have a Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Hey, Mem, Safit, Tet, Yod, Tet, Sin, Mem, Safit, Ayin, Lamed, Ayin, Yod, Nun, Yod, Vav, Aleph, Resh, Chet, Zad, Sofit, Vav, Hey, Nun, Nun, Yod, Resh, Aleph, Hey. And we read it. Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them, tit, the clay, some he put, al upon, enaiv, my eyes, va'er chatz, and I washed, the hinni, and behold, I am, ro'e, seeing, and I chose I am because with this form, it's like a participle form, seeing. And then I've given you some. As a kol verb, it means to place, to put, to appoint. So the translation, he said to them, he placed the clay on my eyes, and I washed them, and behold, I see. So now we can read that. Vayomer, alehem, tit, sam, al, enai, va'er chatz, v'hini, ro'ei. And the translation, and he said unto them, the clay he put on my eyes, and I washed, and behold, I am seeing. And so now we just want to see how we're going, and we're going to translate it now. This is a revision part. So over Yod 10, left 1, we know we're in 11. Vayan, and he answered, Vayomer, and he said, Ish, a man, asher, that or who, Nikra, is called, Shemo, his name, Yahushua, Asa, he made, Tit, clay. And he answered, and he said, a man who is called his name, Yahushua, made clay. Vayim rach, and he smeared all upon enaiv, my eyes, Vayomer, and he said, Eli, unto me, lek go, urchatz, and wash, biv reka, in the pool of ha-shiloach, the sent one. And he smeared it on my eyes, and he said to me, go and wash in the pool of the shiloach, the sent one. Va'elech, and I went, va'erchatz, and I washed, va'tipakach, and they were opened, enai, my eyes. And I went and I washed, and they were opened, my eyes. And then we have Yod 10, Vayet 2. So we know we're in 12. Vayomru, and they said, Elev, unto him, V'ayo, and where is he? Vayomer, and he said, lo, not, Yadati, I do know. And they said unto him, and where is he? And he said, not, I do know. Then we have Yod 10, Gimel 3, we're in 13. Vayaviu, and they brought et grammar marker ha'ish, the man, asher who haya, he was, iver, blind, lefanim, before or formerly, el2 ha perishim, the Pharisees. And they brought the man who was blind before to the Pharisees. Now, Yod 10, Dalet 4 and 14. The ha-yom, and the day, asher, that, asa, he made, vo, in it, Yahushua, et grammar marker, ha-tit, the clay, and the day that he made in it, Yahushua, the clay, vayivchach, and he opened et enaiv, his eyes, Haya, it was Yom, the day of Ha-Shabbat. And he opened his eyes. It was the day of the Shabbat. And then we have a tet and a vav. Tet is 9, vav is 6, are in 15. Va yosifu. And they added lishol, to ask, oto, him, gam, also, ha perishim, the Pharisees, eik, how, nif, kechu, they were opened, enav, his eyes. And they added to ask him, also the perishim, or the Pharisees, how were they opened his eyes? Vayomer, and he said, Alehem, unto them, tit, clay, some he put or placed, al upon, enai, my eyes, va'er chatz, and I washed, ve'hini, and behold, I am seeing. And he said unto them, the clay he put on my eyes, and I washed, and behold, I am seeing. And so that brings us to the valve marks, just to confirm that we fully grasp how to use them. A kamatz is a longer sounding A, according to the way we say the word as well. And then we have patak, which is a short A. Zere, a longer E. Segol, shorter E. Shava, it breaks the word into its syllables. And then we have a cholam, the O sound. Shuruk, short U, and kubutz, a longer U. And then we have a combination, shavar and segol, called a kataf segol. Then we have chirik, the I sound, and kataf patak, with a shavar and a patak after it. Then we have a shavar and a kamatz after it, called a kataf kamatz, just to remind us of the vowel markings. And of course, I've repeated the resources, and then we have a chart. And the chart is to help us remember the values of the letters, and we randomly look at them. Mem is 40, Yod is 10, Zade is 90, Shin is 300, Samek is 60, Kuf is 100, Fe is 80, Tet is 9, Veyet or Bayet is 2, Zion is 7, and Nun is 50, and Tav is 400. And so we come to the end of our lesson now, and I do pray it is a blessing to you, and we want to wish you a Shavua Tov, which is a good week, or a good 7, literally. In the name of our Master and Savior, Yeshua, our Master and King. Amen.